Hey guys, CUTTERUP Rob here. If you guys already don't know, we're back working on the shorty again today. I got the wastegate. If you haven't seen the review on the wastegate, it'll either be my last video or the next video. So if this just came out, it might not be out yet. I don't know because I haven't done the review of the gate yet. But I will be doing it very shortly, obviously before I finish everything all up here. But today's task for me is I want to take this pipe, I actually marked it already, and actually I'm going to put you guys on the stand here. What we're gonna do is this little piece of stainless pipe. Now I would usually use, well, this is decent, actually not bad stainless pipe, but I would usually use a different company stainless steel pipe, but I can't get any because there isn't any at the moment. So we're gonna make do with what we have. And I wanted to use a bellows in it, but there again, I couldn't get a bellows, so I have this, but I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if there's space for this. It might be too long. So basically the idea here is to, hopefully you guys see that. Oh yeah. So basically I'm gonna cut this pipe off, and this pipe is gonna merge into my down pipe. But I don't know if I have enough room for this to go in there. And I don't think I like the look of it. So what I might do is just solid mount it. And at this point anyway, I can't finish weld this to this pipe yet anyway, because I want to put the exhaust in first, because I don't know, this flange isn't welded yet. So I want to make sure that before I finish weld that my down pipe doesn't have to change. So that being said, I just want to make sure everything, but I want to get this fitted best that I can to it, which I can make it fit pretty good. I will go into depth a little bit probably in the way and how to fit this. Not that I am the best person for fitting. I don't do it very often, and this is something that the more you do, the easier it is. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cut this off in the bandsaw. I don't need to show that. I'm literally just using the bandsaw to cut it off. Cut this off the bandsaw, then we'll see how it fits in there, and then we'll mark it, and we'll make the cope to go onto that pipe. And I'm probably just going to tack it together just for now. I don't want to finish weld any of this, because until I do the exhaust pipe, but I want to make it so that it's all fitted, so then it's way easier to weld together. So I'm gonna go cut this. I'll be right back, and then we will test fit it in there, see what we're gonna do for the cope, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm gonna cut this. All right guys, so I got that cut off, and what I wanted to show you guys was, I actually have some of these Pipe Master things. I don't know if you guys have ever used them before. The pipe goes down inside. Doesn't actually work on this pipe because this pipe is 1 3/4 on the ID, not the OD. But anyways, these things do come in handy sometimes, but I find them sometimes more of a hassle than they are good. I bought them to try them out, and they work, don't get me wrong, but they're just not how I usually like doing it. So this pipe is still covered in oil, which is a pain in the ass. But basically when I'm doing it, I don't know how well you guys will be able to see in here, but basically I fit the pipe down inside there to start with. Now it doesn't have the flange on it. You guys aren't gonna be able to see any of this. Hashtag I need a camera guy. Come on, YouTube. So if you guys can see in there, you can see the line on the pipe. That's a preliminary line for me to, I'm going to cut that off to start with and see how it flanges on, how it fits up against this pipe here. So actually I probably need to maybe put it on a little bit more angle, but I'll do that when I'm cutting it. So get that moved in there. So basically it'll sit like that up against the pipe kind of idea, if that makes sense. So I'll cut that off and then we'll cope it around afterwards. So I'm going to go cut that off first, and then I'll come back. So I'm just going to cut this off with the portaband. I kind of got everything not set up at the moment. Seems to be my thing. So I'm going to go cut that off the portaband, I think. And then I will be back. Lights it up maybe a little bit better. All right, guys. So I actually ended up using the grinder. That's the piece that I cut out, for you guys that want to know. And I put a little bit of a curl on it. And I don't know, I've done a bunch of this, so it's maybe different for me than somebody that's never done it before. I actually I'll make a video on coping, but like I'm not bad at it, but I'm not awesome at it either. It takes time. So it's like literally you mark it, and I'll do a video on it later when I get into doing some more of it, but just at the moment I don't have the time to do that video. Got a bunch of other videos on the go here. So for you guys, I don't know if you can see down in there. Hopefully you can see. Hold on, let me get you out of the, see if I can do this without dropping you. So you can see where my gap is there, so it's still not great, but if I pull a bunch out of that, the edge closest to us, that's gonna come in there and much nicer and drop down inside there more. So I'm gonna do that with the hand grinder, and then we'll test fit and test fit and test fit, and we'll go from there. And I'm gonna mark it too, but hard for me to hold. I'm probably gonna cut a little bit more out of this end too and draw this towards the wastegate more, but it's just a preliminary setup a little bit here to start with, right? So, okay. Grab. All right, guys, gonna do a little voiceover on this part. I don't know, probably took me maybe 15 minutes or so to make this cope. Take in consideration, if you guys have never done one of these, you want to buy extra pipe because it's not as easy as it looks by times. I've done a bunch, like a bunch of them. So I just want you to be aware. After you've screwed up a whole bunch of pieces of pipe, you tend to learn what not to do. Not that I know what to do, but I know what not to do. So I will, like I said, I will do a video on setting these, as making them. Not that I'm the best at it, but I can give you guys a general idea of how I do it, and then that gives you a general idea how you can do it, and then you just have to wing it and give her a whirl. So usually all I use is a hand grinder with a flap wheel on it after I do the first cut. In the first cut, there can be some measurements if you want to do some measurements, or you can just mark it out and get a decent setup as far as that goes. But I'm just literally going back and forth, taking a mark, see where it's touching. You know, take off that piece where it's touching and then find the next piece is touching kind of idea. I'm sure there probably is a better way to do it, but I've always found I got the best fit up when I do it this way. So, and for some reason I wasn't smart enough to put the clamp on the wastegate, so I kept knocking that flange off. You guys might not see it in the video, but it was driving me bonkers there for a little while. And one thing with stainless is that when you go to weld it, make sure that you remember that it will pull. So you want to make sure that you get the fit real good on it, because if you put too much heat in it, you will have issues. All right, guys, so I got this thing fitting pretty good. Got her fitting pretty good there now. Little tiny gap on the backside, so I'm gonna have to take a little tiny bit out of the throat right here. And then what I'm gonna have to do is, it's not perfectly straight up at the wastegate. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to, like you can see where it's going in there, which will be fine. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that over to the belt sander and just put a little, hold on, let me put this back up. I'm gonna put just a little bit of an angle on this, and then just put the bevel, because this is technically for a different size of pipe. I couldn't get the pipe that this actually fits, so that's fine. It is what it is. So I need to put just this, I need to get that so it just fits just a little bit nicer, so it'll go down inside that edge, and this will fit almost perfect. I'll probably need to, I got a little dent right there, so I'll hammer that out. But I don't have my dolly unit here, so I'll have to make something for dolly in it, but that's okay. But you won't even be able to see this anyway. It's just that it'll bother me if there's a dent in it, knowing there's a dent, because I'm gonna wrap this pipe anyway. I'm not gonna wrap this pipe, I don't think, because, well, It'd be nice if it stayed shiny like that, like sitting there like that. The only thing is that I'm afraid that it'll cook the paint off here. So nah, I'll probably wrap it. Anyways, that's what that pipe's gonna look like. So for you guys that wanted to know, that's how you do it. I know I didn't really show doing it, but I will do a video on it at some point. So basically I just go in, I do the initial cut. I kind of just ballpark it. And then all you do is just go in with the grinder, fit it, set it in there, see where it's touching, grind it some more. Do that over and over and over again. And yeah. So I guess this video, actually, you know what? I'll probably, anyways, like, subscribe, hit me down in the comments. And remember, it's not rocket science. All right, guys. I just realized that the camera died and I just welded this up. Didn't turn out too bad, but I didn't have it like, I don't know, it looks okay. But this is what, hold on, it's still hot. Get this clamp out of the way. Light on. Let's see if it did any twisting. No, it'll fit pretty good. So, right on. So basically all I got to do now is, all I have to do is mark out the pipe here. But like I said, I can't do that. We got it centered right now and I think it should be good there, but I don't want to, I'm going to just clamp that in there. But I don't want to tighten, or I don't want to weld it, drill it, cut the hole or weld it until we have the exhaust on, which hopefully we will be doing very shortly. But, or at least part of the exhaust anyway. Anyways, I'm going to throw that on there and that'll be it for this one. All right, guys.